I would like for it to be known that there are spoilers ahead. I would also like for it to be known that I do not have anything whatsoever against people who have chosen to live or lead an alternative lifestyle. I do not hate them. I do not overly love them or sympathize with them. I remain neutral on the subject. With that said, I think it's time we move on. What's up, YouTube? It's Mr. Shinato here again with another video game review. I've decided as of late, instead of just making like two separate videos, one for like just random shit I do and one for like video games, I figured it'd just be smarter and easier for me if I just like put them both together. Anyway, I know I said I was doing like a Final Fantasy challenge, and I still am. However, I've taken a break from it because I hit a stump and I have to figure out how I'm gonna get around that stump. And I know level grinding is the way you get around most stumps in Final Fantasy, but I just need my team to like survive one measly battle so that they can keep the level up, they don't die, and I can move on with the rest of, the game. But yeah, I'm taking a break from Final Fantasy 3. Still an awesome game, still perfect. If you got a Vita and you got some creds or some money or whatever, you go ahead and purchase it, play it. I know I said creds. I saw my brother watching Batman Beyond on Netflix, and I don't know, it just stuck with me. Anyway, what I'm here to really talk about is Hot Shots Golf. Oh my gosh, not Worldwide Edition, World Invitational. I started playing that as a part of my break, and I challenged like one of my PSN friends. I think it's Trust 1974. I hope I got the number right. I just know the first part is like Trust. I don't know what happened between us in that challenge. I already took my swing. I sent the reply back. I don't know if you just said screw it, it's not worth it, or I don't know what happened. But I used that to take a break from Final Fantasy, right? And I got really good into it, and I got my shots the way I wanted them to. And my other friend Ray was always online talking about some, damn man, every time I log on and I try to see what you're doing, you're always playing Hot Shots Golf. And I was like, yeah man, Final Fantasy is a trip. Like, I have to put in hour after hour. I beat 2 of them back to back. It was like a week. That was my phone. But yeah, I used my Hot Shots Golf to take a break from Final Fantasy, and I unlocked Cat. I unlocked some. Well, I didn't unlock nothing, but I bought some extra golf clubs and stuff like that. And I got good into it, and then one day Ray suggested I buy a game. And the game, which is the meat of this video, is Soul Sacrifice. I know you've seen plenty of videos about it. I know you've seen people play it, and I know you've seen like maybe the demos out there and screenshots, whatever. But I'm here to tell you, this game, I've never played a game 40 hours straight, at least not without knowing, or not while I didn't know. I don't know, I've just never played a game as long as this. I beat the main quest like early yesterday morning, and when I say morning, I mean like my dad goes to work in the AM. I saw him go to work. That's how bad it was. But yeah, I've been deep into this game. It revolves around a guy who's in a cage, and he's like next on the list of sacrifices for this guy named Magusar. And you know, this book that was previously held by the guy who was like across from you after he got done up, the book lands in your possession and it starts talking to you about how you can relive these phantom quests and how you can attain power and hopefully you can defeat Magusar. But I'm not ready to fight that guy yet. I mean, I'm probably qualified now, but I'd rather be overqualified. That's just the kind of player I am. You think that's bad? You should see me play Pokemon. We don't go to the first gym around level 10 and 15. Oh, hell no. I make sure we're 25. That's how old you gotta be to drink at this party. But, yeah, so you relive these Phantom Quests and you go on these journeys with, like, X amount of other sorcerers, because that's what you are. Your job is to hunt and kill monsters, even if they happen to become one out of you. Well, I mean, obviously you can't suicide, but it'll be a sorcerer's job to kill you if you turn into a monster. And then all this power gets transferred and to your it gets transferred into your right arm, and before you know it, you've made your first sacrifice, and you attain like Darkarm 1 or whatever have you. I was shaving earlier. Hair was on my tongue. Whoa. Anyway, you get this power shifted into your right arm, and if you sacrifice souls, then of course you get like Dark Arm. If you save the souls, you get Divine Arm, and they're like, as far as I know, 4 levels of this, because that's the highest I've seen of Dark Arm, so I'm assuming the same is true for the Divine Arm. But a person like me, because they give me choice, I've chosen to be neutral. Now, both arms can go up to 99 respectively, but that would leave only like 1 level for the other side of the arm. So you can't level up both arms or both sides of the arm to 99. For the duration, I'm just gonna say both arms, because thinking about one arm and having 2 different sides of it is kind of painful to try to think about as I make this video. So if I say both arms, just know that I mean the same right arm. It's just 2 different stances of life. But anyway, you start out with this girl, Sorciara, and the Sorcerer's Ordeal, and you learn a little bit about her and why she is so hateful and why she kind of tries to boss you around. Like, if you play the game, or if you have played the game, then you know what I'm talking about, because she sounds like a boss who just doesn't want you to work for her, but knows that she needs you because you're like Wolverine. You're the best at what you do. Anyway, so by the end of the ordeal, by the end of that particular chapter or subset or whatever, you have to kill her, because that's part of the Sorcerer's Ordeal. I feel like it's kind of fucked up, because here you have 2 perfectly well-trained sorcerers, and they need to kill each other as part of this exam. That's kind of weird, but I digress. I got past that, and then this other chapter opened up, which would be the main basis of the game, called 7 Years Later, and this is like after you fought Sorciara and absorbed her into your arm. You meet this guy named Magusar, and Magusar has a curse-stricken body, because he needs sacrifices in order to sustain his eternal youth. Although you can't really call it eternal youth if you have to recharge it like batteries, especially when it comes to having to kill something and sacrifice it. But yeah, you meet this guy Magusar. Is pretty awesome, especially in AI play or whatever. He's I don't know, like he reminds me a lot of the Emperor from Star Wars. Not because of how he sounds, but just because of his freaking costume. Like, he just doesn't have a hood. Like, I'm pretty sure if he had a hood, he'd be boss as shit. But when you play with him, he doesn't have a hood. When you fight him as part of like the end of the game, which I said earlier I've not finished, he has a hood and kind of looks a little Sithish. But yeah, he's a pretty cool character. Does a lot of stone-like damage, whatever. And you come to find out that the guy that you've been traveling with is not Magusar. In fact, whenever sorcerers absorb the life essence of, I guess, an enemy or a monster or even a fellow sorcerer, their memories are, I don't want to say transcribed, but I feel like that's the right word. They're inputted into your right arm, and if you're not careful, they can overwhelm you to the point where memories erase your own and you forget who you are. And that's where the character Illicebra comes in. During the course of the game, Illicebra presents herself and says, "Hey, why are you traveling with my partner? He is my partner, not yours, and I will do anything to get him back, and blah blah blah, and we will die together." And at first I got a little upset because I was like, damn, this is a lover's quarrel story? Like, holy shit, Japan, like, you got me interested in a love story. That's good fucking job. You tricked me really good. Then, after we've killed Illicebra, I guess part of her essence erased or messed up my character's frame of thought, because all of a sudden he has this unnatural, or the way I put it, unprofessional attraction toward Megusar. And I don't mean like, oh, let me touch and kiss you. I mean like his words are just too strong for the job that they do. It's, I must save my partner. I cannot leave him to die. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm just gonna go with the flow for right now. And I find out again, it's a lot of finding out of things in this game. You find out that Magusar has tracked you down because you're some great evil, but you haven't turned yet. Then you find out there's a countdown to the end of the world. And then you find out that you aren't necessarily the evil, he is the evil. And you've both been trying to go on this search for this chalice, which I'm pretty sure if AIDS and STDs existed back then, they'd be on that damn chalice. Because all the stories that are in this journal that revolve around the monsters and how they became what they are all involve this damn chalice. And I gotta say, this chalice is, I can't say. I've never really seen it other than in the book and the various depictions of it and whatnot. But yeah, it's so weird. Like you find out at the end of it all that the guy you've been traveling with is some unnamed sorcerer who defeated Magusar, absorbed his memories, and had them unraveled by Magusar. So now he thinks he's Magusar, but he's really not. Then you find out that the journal who was talking to you this entire time about shit that was going on in the damn story, you find out that he's the guy who used to be friends with Magusar, or the unnamed sorcerer. I wish they had given his name. I bet it would have been something real kick-ass, like, I don't know, like Zwei, Zwei, and I'm making that a character, just so you know. So, but yeah, that's pretty much the sum of the game. The good thing about the game is that it's not like Final Fantasy. You can keep leveling up long after you've completed the main part of the story or whatever. They have what they call Avalon packs, and you go on these missions and you save or kill or do whatever the mission requires you to do. And Avalon is the group of sorcerers dedicated to sacrificing. And then there's another group called Sanctorum, where they're a group of sorcerers dedicated to saving. And I just want to put it out there that if you save a monster, you get Divine Arm. And that's life magic. And that means that you're going to have some tough-ass defense. And a lot of fucking recovering. Now, if you choose Darkarm, you'll have boss ass attack. You might as well be the boss. It's about as close to pure power as you can get. Plus, you get these badass forms or clothes or whatever, raiments as they call them, and they make your character look even more badassier because of the level. I'm trying to put my foot on something, and I just thought it was like really cool that that you could do that. But then I realized something. If I'm Divine Arm, I have a shit ton of defense. I can't be hurt. That's cool. But oh wait, I fucking suck at attacking. I have shit ass attack, cause at level 1, your base attack is 100. Yeah, enjoy that. On the flip side, I can blow shit up with a single touch, cause I'm Darkarm. Number 8, 10, whatever. I'm Darkarm. You can't stop me. However, niggas have known to be getting lucky these days. What if I get hit? Insta-kill. Yeah, that's right. Call of Duty. Insta-kill. Just, you're dead. So, just keep that in mind. That's why I'm neutral. I mean, yeah, I won't have boss-ass attack or boss-ass defense, but I'll have the best of both worlds for the most part. And, finally, the two most important parts of the game, as far as equipping your character and whatnot. I'm not going to get into offerings because, well, actually, I will get into offerings, but I'll do that after this. The two best parts of the game is that you can get tattoos. Hell yeah, you can get tatted. But really, they're called sigils or sigils. I'm really not sure how that word was meant to be pronounced. S-I-G-I-L. Sigil. Apostrophe S. Sigils. Sigils. Whatever. You can get, if you're looking right here, you can get 2 right here, and then 2 right there, and you can get 1 on your hand or your palm. And each one does something different, such as boosting. One boosts the elements, which would be like your forearm near your shoulder, so you can get like extra damage for heat attacks, throwing attacks. I'm sorry, not throwing attacks. Extra damage for heat attacks and amp stuff, and just for causing inflictions and stuff like that. But in the midsection of your arm, you can add damage for homing attacks, or you can add damage for what else? Throwing attacks, or increase the power of self-healing, or increase the power of these kick-ass golems. And then on the palm, which I'm kind of upset doesn't have 2 spaces. I'd love for that place to have 2 spaces. You can actually increase your attack and defense respectively, or together, because they do have one that increases both attack and defense with no minus. But you can get a sigil that increases your attack by like 70%, and then downs your defense by like -40, just as you can get a sigil that can up your defense by like 70 and down your attack by like 40. But I really like that option. It is really cool. And then when shit really hits the fan, and I mean you've gone through all your spells, all your life healing spells, whatever, you just can't do anything else, and you've taken the most you can take. There's always black rights. These, at a price, can do some major damage. I just got to level 40 today. Well, actually, I'm a little bit past 40. I'm almost at like 43, but that's beside the point. I just got to 40 today on both sides of on both arms, and I unlocked Excalibur and Vulcan, both of which kind of do the same thing to me, except one you use and one you give to a friend. I haven't tried out Vulcan yet because I'm afraid, like most all AIs I encounter, it's gonna fuck up. And I just saw my friend John log on, so if that came up in the video, then I'm sorry. But yeah, I saw the Excalibur. Don't know exactly how it's supposed to be used, but apparently it's some huge ass sword. I'm not sure. I myself will have to go online, find a YouTube video, and look it up myself. But you have Gilfer or whatever, something where you sacrifice your hand and you chain an archfiend. It holds them in place, and your buddies, if you play online, because that's the smartest this game is gonna get for AI play or partner play or whatever. You hold them in place and they go ham. So yeah, and it holds them in place for a good little minute. Then you have Gorgon's Eye. You should just know what you'd be sacrificing to use that. And you can freeze or petrify your opponent into place, but I think it also does damage. Whereas Guilford just holds them in place. I don't think it does any damage. Then you have Infernus. That's actually what you start out with. Huge, mammoth, spiritual like flyer attack. Sacrifice your skin to use that one. And then my two personal favorite, the Berserker, which is like a windstorm that pulls everything, partners and villains or monsters alike, and it just punishes them with painful attack. So it's pretty good because it keeps shit from running away from you and keeps beating shit up for you. And finally, my really favorite, and like I've taken screenshots of this almost every time I do it because it looks that fucking awesome, is the Angelus. You sprout wings, and this heaven-like light just pierces everything on the field and hurts monsters and heals allies. That is just fan-freaking-tastic right there. So, but yeah, Soul Sacrifice is a great buy. It was suggested to me by a friend, so I'm suggesting it to you, YouTubers. Also, to all the people who use DevPro and know what DevPro is, I haven't been posting any videos because they had been making changes, and I could not hear my music when I signed in to Duel or whatever. So now that that's a bit corrected, I will be posting videos again. The reason I say oh so is because I don't know, I feel like they left something out, because when you win or when you lose, it doesn't switch to the dual win or dual loss music. It just simply goes to it just simply keeps playing the theme that was playing in the midst of the duel or whatever. So I don't know. Also, I wanted to talk to you guys about two games that are coming out in October and September. I'm sure you've all heard the buzz. I'm sure you've all expected it yourself. Grand Theft Auto 5 and Batman Arkham Origins, which I've been calling Batman Ark Origins because when I type that, it's literally a little bit too long for me to type. But yeah, I'm looking forward to playing those games. I will be doing reviews of those two specific games. Don't think I'm gonna get a PS4 right away, but I'm never buying an Xbox One. I guess that's it. You know, until next time.